Welcome to EMTB videos.
We finally had the chance to test the new Specialized Kenevo SL, and we had so many questions. You know, the old Specialized Kenevo, no shuttle required, they said. So we took the bike to the local bike park without any uplift, and the bike took us up no problem. So when the Specialized Kenevo was introduced, we immediately thought, well, is this like a no shuttle required bike too? But it's got a smaller motor and a smaller battery, so it's a low power bike. So we tried climbing a few seriously steep hills, and we soon decided, no, this is not a no shuttle required bike. And that's of course what Specialized says. They never claim that. They claim this is sort of like the ultimate trail bike. So, what do you think? Is this the ultimate trail bike?
Well, it's at least a great trail bike, that's for sure. You have the smaller motor than what we're used to riding with the Bosch CX and the EP8. So going straight from that, it can feel a bit weak. But if you come from a pedal bike or something, you really got some extra push. And when we push the motor up to give us 100% in turbo, it really gives you a little extra.
Yes, it feels quite powerful when just pedaling, cruising.
Yeah.
But when you hit the steep sections and the cadence drops, you notice the motor power is suffering a bit. But just pedaling steadily, easily, it feels more. We got all the power you need almost.
Yeah, if you pedal a bit downhill, it can feel like it gives you like a little push.
Yeah.
But it still gives you a lot of extra power when you're going up a bit technical terrain and you need that little extra boost to get up. Then
We did a review of the Specialized Levo SL 1.1 motor when we test rode the Levo SL. Check it out up here for more details about the motor. We won't talk too much about the motor in this review. But speaking of the Levo SL, that was we really liked that bike. It was so nimble and so fun to ride. We were bouncing about on the trails and just jumping on every little bump. But we were sort of missing a bit of downhill performance and the stability that we're used to with the heavier EMTBs. And sure, that was to be expected really, because the tires were fairly lightweight and it was the Fox 34 forks. It was built to be a less aggressive trail bike. So it left us wanting a bit in certain areas. So we were really excited when we tested this bike. Would this sort of bridge the gap? Would this bike be the lightweight, nimble bike while still providing all the downhill stability we would ever want?
and for me, it really does. It's a great descender. I really feel stable when going downhill. And after riding it a bit, I felt more secure than I have done in a long time. And actually did some new lines going downhill, which I've never done before. I was kind of surprised when I got down. Wow, that went well.
Yeah, I had the same when going into a section and it's unknown territory and we haven't really planned the line ahead, and we just end up letting go of everything and just riding through it. And when we come out on the other side, it's just, wow,
Yeah.
that went surprisingly well. So the Kenevo SL really is a capable descender. It's almost bottomless suspension on these not too high-speed test trails. And we roll over lots of stuff. And it really does what we were missing from the Levo SL. It's stable on the descents. It really settles down on the tractor, and it feels lightweight and easy to maneuver.
Yeah, it's very nimble. You can get around even if it's a bit longer. You don't feel it.
It's got longer chain stays and it's got a slacker head angle, and it's like a kilo more or less heavier, and yeah, like you say, we never noticed, we never thought of it. So this bike is it's about 19 kilos without pedals, and that's a good weight. It's not important for us to get the bike down to 18 kilos, really.
Oh.
The 19 is good.
It's good. It's easy to move it around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really like the Kenevo SL on the flatter sections, and honestly, I don't think the Kenevo SL was any worse. The only thing I think the strength of the Kenevo SL is on the really tight sections, low speed, tight trails. You really want a bike with less suspension and shorter wheelbase. But for the kind of riding we do, the more is better. So the bike we test rode was a size medium, sort of. It's the S3. And us at just over 180 centimeters, we perhaps should ride the S4 size. But that's sort of the thing with the S sizing, with the Specialized S sizing. That often when we fall between sizes, we can choose between medium and large, but with the S sizing, frame height is kept down, so we could probably ride the we could ride the S3 and we could ride the S4 and probably the S5 too. So yeah, it's a stable bike with not the shortest of chainstays, so we don't really mind having the bike a bit short to keep the wheelbase down on our trails. The Kenevo SL Expert is really well equipped, and it's not a cheap bike. It's got the carbon frame, it's got the Specialized SL 1.1 motor, it's got the 320 watt-hours battery. We did not ride it with the range extender that goes into the bottle cage, but we've tested that one before, and it really adds a decent amount of range. Suspension is nice. I really like the Fox 38 Performance Elite. You got the factory version of it, but I'm just as happy with the somewhat cheaper Performance Elite. And the shock, it's the Fox Float X2. It's really great. I really like that one. Drivetrain is the SRAM XX1, and I'm almost a bit afraid of riding it. It's that's some seriously expensive kit. Also, it's got the new Specialized TCU, the display and speedometer and so on the down tube, which is really neat. Brakes are SRAM code R, I believe, and yeah, great. Everything about the kit is seriously nice. Perhaps I would go with a bit more burly tires, but this isn't the ultimate downhill bike. Tire choice is sort of individual, and it no complaints. So here is the geometry, and just like on the new Specialized Kenevo, we've got lots of tweaking options. Head tube can be adjusted to slack, normal and low. Bottom bracket height can be adjusted to high or low. We just drove the bike in the default settings, but you can seriously alter it by dropping everything to low, for instance.
When it comes to the trails, it performs really well, and downhill, as we said, it's really great. It's not the best climber. It's not a shuttle, but that's not what it's built for either. So that's okay, and it gives you power, a bit more power on the trails when you need it.
It's got the geometry for the climbing, but when you're used to the full fat, high power EMTBs, then it's not a climber per se.
If you come from no motor, it probably feels like a great climber.
That's it. Appreciate any likes and subscribes. Thanks for watching.